is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. I took a much needed break. I know, a whole day and a half, right? But I needed it. Today, I am talking about Lee Zeldin. Just did an interview with State of the Union on, of all places, CNN. And I'm hoping that, is my microphone working? Yes. I'm hoping that this makes this much clearer for you, because I saw the meat riders, the other truck channels that were not pro-diesel, talking about, oh, we might get diesel trucks without emissions. And then they were like, no, actually, that's not what's going to happen. Look, Lee Zeldin made it very clear. If they want cars and trucks to be covered under the Clean Air Act, Congress is going to have to pass legislation. Well, I can tell you right now, the current Congress ain't passing shit. Nothing. Zero. They are going to let this thing go, which is what they should do, period. And I wanted to take a time, hence the AP. I only wear this when I go to blackjack tournament. I know someone's like, TK, don't flex on them. I'm not flexing on them. I only wear this watch when I'm going, when we're going to the casino, if we're doing like a blackjack tournament and they're filming or doing whatever. So we're doing that. There's a blackjack tournament. There's some other big influencers that are there. I might film for the gambling channel. We'll see how it goes. I haven't been doing anything on that channel lately, and I'm considering doing something different with it. I can't get in the mindset of being able to focus and play while worrying about what the camera's doing. You know what I'm saying? And I know some of you guys like that content. I just, whatever. But back to the Lee Zeldin thing. He also was on there and cooked CNN for multiple things. Because CNN was trying to use like images and videos of like plants and stuff. And what the endangerment finding doesn't change anything with greenhouse gases or emissions on factories, plants, And this is what the other side is trying to say. It's not. It only is specifically dealing with mobile versions of carbon dioxide or greenhouse gases. All right. So what does that mean? Cars and trucks. And he makes it very clear. Section 202 and Section 209 are no longer going to be covering cars and trucks. Because I've seen what the comments say. Well, Section 202 and Section 209 in the Clean Air Act lets California do whatever they want. Not anymore. When this endangerment finding goes through, and this rule is changed in 39 days? 40 days? Whatever it is. Maybe it's 39 days now. And they implement this rule, California can no longer do smog checks. No state can. They can apply for a waiver that the EPA is not going to give. It actually gives emissions freedom. And I've seen all of the bullshit and all of the comments by all these channels, and I see retards, and that's what I'm saying, you retards in the comments that are, commenting bullshit. You're making comments like, oh, this doesn't change anything. I'll believe it when I see it. No. I said this before in an earlier video. Sometimes you got to take the win, man. But without further ado, let's go into the clip, because this is the way I like to do this now. You're not going to be like, well, TK said. I didn't say shit. The head of the EPA said it. And I think it's time for you guys to hear it. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to roll this clip so you can hear what he says in his entirety and watch him beat down the CNN reporter every time she tries to put words in his mouth or switch something up or go back to the climate change effing scam, because he goes all the way in. And I am here for it. Roll it.
I do want to start with the fundamental question that's at the heart of all this. I mean, do you accept the overwhelming scientific consensus that these greenhouse gas emissions are the biggest drivers of man-made climate change?
Well, it's great to be on with you. First, it's worth pointing out that all 8 or so images that you just posted on the screen have nothing to do with this week's announcement. What was the 2009 endangerment finding had to do was with regards to mobile sources vehicles. This week's proposal to rescind the 2009 endangerment finding was with regards to mobile sources vehicles. CNN's been using a lot of photos where they show smokestacks of stationary sources like power plants. That's not what we proposed. Now, going back to 2009, the science that they were reviewing included both optimistic to pessimistic scenarios. To reach the 2009 endangerment finding, they relied on the most pessimistic views of the science. The great news is that a lot of the pessimistic views of the science in 2009 that was being assumed ended up not panning out. Hey, that's great. We can rely on 2025 facts as opposed to 2009 bad assumptions. The other thing, too, is that at EPA, we don't just get to creatively make the law whatever we want it to be. The Supreme Court ruled in Loper-Bright overturning the Chevron doctrine, West Virginia versus EPA, Michigan versus EPA, that agencies like the EPA can't just use vague language in statute and try to make it be whatever we want it to be. The major policy doctrine also says that when you're going to reach something like an endangerment finding and then have trillions of dollars of regulation, that's something that should be decided by our elected members of Congress in passing statute. And if you don't mind, the 2009 endangerment finding, while it's simply summed up now as saying carbon dioxide endangers public health and welfare, that's not what they did back in 2009. They had a lot of mental leaps. They say carbon dioxide, when mixed with a whole bunch of other well-mixed gases, in some cases not even emitted from mobile sources, they say that it contributes to global climate change. Doesn't say causes, contributes. How much they don't say, but it's north of zero, not much more than zero.
So you're sounding pretty skeptical
of
this overall scientific consensus that these greenhouse gas emissions are the overwhelming man-made climate change driver.
That might be your way to try to twist my words, but what I'm saying is that we get our power at EPA from what the law states, and the Supreme Court in recent cases have been very clear. So what I was just describing with all the mental leaps used in the 2009 endangerment finding, Section 202 of the Clean Air Act doesn't allow all of these different mental leaps, as the Supreme Court made clear in recent years. So I'm not going to get creative with the law. We're going to read the plain language. And if Section 202 of the Clean Air Act gets amended by Congress, then we'll follow that new law.
So, sir, first of all, I don't want to put words in your mouth or twist your words or anything like that. I just was trying to clarify kind of where you were coming down on my initial question. And I will say that you, as the Trump-appointed EPA administrator, you sound a lot different from the member of Congress. And I, of course, covered you when you were in Congress. But back in 2016, here's what you had to say about climate change broadly. Let's watch.
Our climate is changing. We need to do more to be better stewards of the air, the land, our water. The key is to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, to become more environmentally friendly and pursue alternative energy, clean and green energy.
What's changed for you?
Nothing. The climate has always been changing. We should not be relying on all these foreign sources of energy. We should be unleashing energy dominance here in this country. We do it better for our environment that so many other countries do for theirs and for the rest of the world. It's better for our economy, our national security, and our environment. And I'll tell you, over the course of my first 6 months on this job, the announcement that I enjoyed putting out the most was on the 100th day of President Trump's term in office. We released 100 environmental accomplishments that we did in those first 100 days. We're very proud of our historic wildfire cleanup in Los Angeles. We increased water quality standards in southeast Pennsylvania and into Delaware along the Delaware River Basin. Just last week, I was in Mexico City announcing an international agreement with Mexico to advance a permanent 100% solution to resolve the Tijuana River raw sewage crisis that's been plaguing millions of Southern California residents for decades. And that is a pace that motivates us to keep up. We are very proud of all of the accomplishments. As you pointed out, I'm currently traveling around New England, visiting Superfund sites that are getting cleaned up. And EPA, over the course of years and decades, has been doing an amazing job as it relates to the Superfund cleanup and the brownfield cleanup. We're advancing cooperative federalism and getting state implementation plans done. We're getting through our backlog we inherited in pesticide review and new chemical review. There are amazing, dedicated employees at this agency all across this entire country doing important work, and we're very proud of that work, and we're going to continue to keep that pace up.
So one way that you have defended the change you want to make in terms of the endangerment finding and saying that the government's not going to regulate carbon dioxide fundamentally is to say that this is going to help consumers save money, basically pay less for their cars. My question to you, though, is what do you say to people who live in a state like Florida? Farmers insurance was pulled out of Florida entirely. State Farm basically threatened to. It's getting harder and harder for people to get insurance at all, let alone pay for it. People that have insurance, it's so much more expensive. How is this policy, this change that you're making, going to help those people?
Well, a few things. First off, as you look at the 2009 endangerment finding, and I referenced that it was to combat global climate change, that was their justification. What EPA had done previously under Section 202 was to look at local and regional impacts. The problem for EPA in 2009 was that they didn't have the science to be able to reach that justification. That's why they had to expand it to this new approach of combating global climate change. We have and I would also point out that what we put out this week is a proposal. We're now going out to public comment. We'll make a final decision after that public comment. Now, as far as the National Flood Insurance Program and congressional debates and votes, that's something for members of Congress to talk about how to fund insurance programs. As it relates to carbon dioxide, I think it's important for people to note that there has been a greening of the planet that's been taking place. It's important to note that emissions have been down. And part of your question was also with regards to the amount of money that's being saved. We at the Trump administration promote consumer choice. We don't believe that states and the federal government should be advancing any form of an electric vehicle mandate. This proposal, on top of a proposal to rescind the 2009 endangerment finding, is a proposal to rescind the greenhouse gas emissions on vehicles that followed light, medium, and heavy duty, and the off-cycle credits like the incentives for the hated start-stop feature and other aspects that we've heard from Americans from across this country. So there's a lot that goes into it. We're going through a public comment period. We want to make the right decision afterwards. But for people who want to sum up the 2009 endangerment finding as if they studied carbon dioxide as an endangerment on human health,
I want to bring us back here, though, to the present day, because a lot's changed since 2009. Do you think the federal government should have a role in trying to combat climate change?
It's a great question, and I'm at the EPA and running an agency. The Supreme Court made it very clear that I have to follow the law. I have to follow the plain language of the law, and I can't get creative. So when you read through the 2009 endangerment finding, they say that where there's silence in the law, there's gaps, that I should just be interpreting that as my own discretion. The Supreme Court has made it very clear that that is not what is a power that I have. This decision is a decision for Congress to make. If they want to amend Section 202 of the Clean Air Act,
sir, with all due respect,
say, hey, EPA,
a power that you have is to rewrite a regulation. You are taking an action. You could just leave it alone.
The power comes from the law. I don't get to just make up the law. And just because a predecessor decided to fill in vague language in the law to do many mental leaps to try to justify an electric vehicle mandate and trillions of dollars of regulation to strangulate out of existence entire sectors of our energy economy. You were posting earlier a whole bunch of photos of stationary sources. Well, the Biden administration did do a whole bunch of regulations to try to make, for example, the coal industry get regulated out of existence. There are people out there who like wind. I come from a state where the governor says that New York is a substitute for baseload power. It's not. In order to make America the AI capital of the world, in order to unleash energy dominance, to protect the jobs, to bring down energy costs, we are not going to regulate out of existence entire sectors of our economy, and we are not going to interpret law in whichever vague, creative way allows us to give ourselves maximum power. The power comes from the law and from Congress, not from our own creativity.
So, what does this mean? It's very clear. I hope it's clear enough now, because look, there's some channels out there and we don't even know each other. There's a lot of truck channels out there because we all pop up probably on each other's feeds, right? There's a lot of channels out there like Truckmaster and some other ones that are saying the same things that I'm saying because we have common sense and can see what the actual text says and what the administrator is saying when it comes to 202 and 209 of the Clean Air Act and what it's going to mean for vehicles. Eliminated. Like, he literally said, eliminated. It's gone. Like, no more rule. It's over. So, I'm hoping above all hope that people will get it through their heads and understand that change is coming. And it's coming even faster than I expected, because I thought we were going to have to wait just for 4117, the House bill that's pending, and some of the other stuff. But with what we got going right now, maybe not. If you didn't see yesterday, we announced our winners of the Tesla Model S in our second place giveaway. So shout out to those winners. They probably have also commented in the post or whatever already. I just got done texting with I dealt with Justin yesterday, and I just got done talking or texting with Kimberly out there in New York, who won the second place $500. So our giveaway currently right now is a Ram 1500 and the Cadillac STS, which is completely not emissions compliant. The Cadillac isn't. But you guys have asked for a video on that car. I just got it out of the garage and sent it off for detail and a little bit of cleaning up. And I think I might even wrap the hood instead of painting it, so that, because the hood does have scratches and stuff on it. It's always had that. But just to have it so it looks uniform and nice and clean for whoever the next owner is. If you want to enter to win either the Cadillac STS, which if you want to know what these look like, there's a video on the Ram 1500 giveaway here on the channel. It's probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 videos back. And the Cadillac, you can find the Ram and the Cadillac both on my Instagram at TK's Garage. I've posted both as posts. If you want to see what they look like, it's probably easier. And then, but if you want to enter, it's very simple. It's $1 for one entry for the rest of the month of August. All you have to do is go to tksgarage.com, or you can pick up, there's probably hats or some other merch down here below the video. Like anything you pick up, $1 includes, counts as one entry. It's very simple. So, and I had somebody ask, like, does that include shipping? Whatever your total amount is when you check out, look, I'll give you an example. So if you check out and your total amount is $38, you got 38 entries. Very simple. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I look forward to seeing everybody at Roadkill Nights out in Detroit. I'm probably going to do a couple of meetups. We'll probably hang out with a few people while we're out there and the like. But I wanted to give a major shout out to all of you guys that have been supporting the channel and consistently pushing my channel and the videos this year, man. You guys are the MVPs. But yeah, I will see you guys out there, and then we'll be doing some other stuff. There's some more videos coming. I'm not going to leave you guys without videos while I'm traveling. Don't worry. And until next time, I'm going to go try to win this blackjack tournament. But until next time, stay petty, my friends.